countdown begin. Raze back live again. Pop culture, entertainment, of course, the hot topics. Traveling somewhere in the tropics. Usually for Zerb, for smoke show panels, $1 million plays. We expanding the channel, they say opinions like assholes. Watch your mouth at all times, and don't mess up the cash flow. We live.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Raze back live again on this Monday afternoon live stream, guys. Hit that like button as you guys come in because it is D-Day for Diddy. Yes, D-Day for Diddy. The jurors, all deliberating right now, deciding on the fate on Puff Daddy right now inside the courtroom. Man. Plenty of media people are out there right now. It's bedlam right now out there. The jury is deliberating right now as we speak. Man, it's a nice day out there inside New York City. We're out here inside New York City, and we're gonna be live, pretty much all day today because we're gonna be out there also. But we got some breaking news right now, guys. The jury has been deliberating since about 11:48, right? 11:48, so about roughly around 2 hours, and already those 12 jurors are having problems already, guys. They are having problems already. I knew this was going to be a tough decision for them because the charges are very, very convoluted, very, very confusing. These are not law professionals on that jury, and they are having trouble understanding. I'm going to tell you what happened inside that courtroom a few minutes ago. There was a note handed to the judge by the jurors, guys. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, they're about to do a verdict. They came to a verdict already. But no. So I didn't have to rush down into the courtroom yet. But there was a note handed to the judge, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that note said. And this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one for those 12 jurors to decide on guilty or not guilty. I believe there is going to be a hung jury, guys, for the biggest crimes. Alive Inside says free Diddy. Shout out to you, Alive Inside. Hit that like button, guys. You guys come in. Hit that like button as you guys come in, guys. There was a note handed to the judge, guys. Let me see if I can bring it up. Hit the like button, guys. You guys come in, because like I said, what we're looking at right now, this precedent that's going to be set if Diddy is found guilty on sex trafficking and racketeering is going to set a big precedent for future cases in the future. That means swinging is dead. Swinging, it will be illegal, basically. Having escort services will be illegal, right? You would think they would raid the place that sent Diddy the escorts in the first place, right? Because if they consider this sex trafficking, that means the company that actually sent Diddy the escorts engaged in sex trafficking, and that means, guys, they should be raided by the feds, right? And shut down, right? But let's see if I can bring up what's going on inside that court. Let me see. We got a couple of things actually, because now they decided on a jury 4-person, guys. So the jurors had to pick a jury 4-person, and the jury 4-person is juror number 5. And guess what? Juror number 5. What is juror number 5's race? Black. But what else? A black female, guys, is the 4-person of the jury, guys. And they're saying that this juror don't play around. This juror, it was pretty serious throughout the trial. So they have a black female is the jury 4-person. What does that mean? What does that mean for Diddy, guys? What does that mean for Diddy? A black female is the 4-person. Or the foreman. Well, you gotta say person is the female. Oh man, a lot of females want to see Diddy buried because of the Cassie beatdown video, guys. Now, there's a black female that has been chosen as the foreperson. Guys, hit that like button, guys. What does that mean? I need your predictions. What's going to happen? What is going to happen? What is going to happen? And like I said, shout out to Alive Inside is in the building. What's good, Troy? Out here inside New York City, Troy. Salute to you, Troy. What's good? What's good? Those girls was independent, no agency, says Troy. Well, yeah, the girls were independent, but I'm talking about the Punisher. I'm talking about the guys, the guy escorts that were sent to Diddy, and they banged out Cassie and Jane as Diddy watched. They came from an agency, something about angels and something agency. So the men, like the Punisher, the two people that testified, they came from an agency, and that's what I'm saying right now. If they didn't if they not shutting down those agencies, for sex trafficking, I don't know why Diddy is getting in trouble for actually purchasing entertainers, quote unquote, and escorts from the agency. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Hit that like button. Yeah. Oh wow. Yes. You talk about the a black female is a wild card. Is she going to side with her race or the whole female empowerment BS? Says Chris J. Well, like I said, we keep it real over here. I do not know. Now, you would have some females, some black females want to see Diddy buried. I've seen it all over social media. And then you have some black females that say, these girls knew what they were getting themselves into. They wanted the money. So it's not, from what I've seen, it's not like it's 100% either way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what side does this juror number 5, what side she falls on in this instant. Yeah. I told you Diddy is going down. Well, we got to see in the next few hours. We're going to see. You know what I'm saying? You might be right. I can't see all 12 jurors convicting, though, on any of these charges because the Diddy's defense team did a great job of seeding doubt into the jurors' heads. It's not as slam dunk as I once thought. Now, let's see what happened a little bit earlier on, a few minutes ago. The jury sent a note in the Combs trial, right? Now, Sean Diddy Combs was in his cell. They put him in a holding cell, right? People left the courtroom, and once the jury sent this note, people came back. People came back in. The judge came back in. The prosecution came back in. The defense came back in. And then they brung Diddy back inside the courtroom, guys. Okay? Then they brought Diddy back inside the courtroom. All right? And it says Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers are returning to the courtroom, and prosecutors are also entering. Okay? All right. The note was first handed to the prosecution, then to the defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo. Okay. Combs is back in the courtroom and reading the note. All right. The court is now waiting for the judge to return. Now, the judge did return, right? And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened with that note. Hit that like button, guys. And like I said, this is not going to be an easy one. This is not going to be an easy one for those jurors, those 12 jurors, guys. This is a very convoluted case. The instructions were read to them, but it's just so many. It's five different charges, and then there's predicate acts to find that the person is guilty of, to reach the verdict of a guilty or not guilty. And it could be very, very confusing to those 12 jurors, guys. And so this is breaking news right now. There was a note handed to the court from those jurors, guys. Hit that like button. I'm going to read to you what they said was on that note. And let me see. Okay, hit the like button, guys. Now, this what was said, right? This what was said on the note that was given to the prosecution, and that was handed to the judge, all right? The judge says, we have received a note from the jury, okay? Now, what can this note says? Does it say we have reached a verdict? No, it does not say that. Okay. It says that we have a juror, right? A juror who we believe cannot follow your instructions. I would like to meet with the court about it. Okay. The judge says, I suggest I ask for more information. Hit the like button, guys. So a juror, guys, a juror. Now, they're saying, we believe we have a juror that cannot follow your instructions. Now, what does that mean, guys? What does that mean? Does that mean the judge's instructions were too convoluted, too hard to follow? Or is this juror refusing to follow the instructions? What does that mean, guys? What does that mean? Is the juror saying it's too hard to understand the instructions, or he doesn't want to follow the instructions? Let's say you guys, what do y'all think that? I mean, I'm reading it just like, you know, I'm seeing all this stuff just like everybody else for the first time. Judge, we have received a note from the jury, says the prosecution, that we have a juror who we believe cannot follow your instructions. What does that mean? What does that mean, guys? You know, is there a mutiny? Or does it just mean that he is finding the judge's instructions complicated? Already we are having some problems with the jury, guys. Now, the alternate jurors were dismissed, right? But they were told to, you know, leave their information just in case one of them might have to come back and finish off the jury deliberations. Now, the prosecution says, may we have a moment to digest what your honor has proposed? This is very sensitive. Then Diddy's lawyer, Agnifilio, I suggest we just tell them it is early. You are just getting started. If there is a further issue, please let us know. So Combs' lawyer said, look, it is still early during these deliberations. If you guys have, let them know. If you guys have further problems, let them know. So I'm thinking, guys, that there was some confusion on the juror part about the instructions given by the judge. So already there's some drama inside that courtroom, guys. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button, guys. Drama Night is in the building. Salute to you. We outside. Yes, we already know about Juror 25 PhD is microbiography, biology. You are late. It's not about being late. We outside. Thanks for being a smart ass, but not everybody has heard this information. We outside. Obviously, you are watching other YouTubers. You are watching the news, but everybody is not in tune with everything that's going on minute by minute with the Diddy trial. That's why we are here live. Yes, sir. We will be live from the courthouse later on today. They are still deliberating right now inside the Diddy trial. So we are updated. Anybody that is not actually paying attention, I would love it if Diddy paid off Juror 25, number 25. His mind is already made up, says Key Hype. So y'all guys believe that juror's mind is made up already? Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Yes. Yes, it's going down today, guys. Guilty or not guilty. I think it's going to be a hung jury on a lot of these big charges, guys. I don't think they're going to get all 12 to convict. You know what I'm saying? Ivan Curry, how about you? What you think? What y'all got? What y'all got? What y'all got? We outside. What you guys? Well, I know what you think. We outside. I think you think he's getting found guilty on all counts. We outside, right? Death penalty? Yeah, we outside. He wants the death penalty for Diddy. it is what it is. Hey, you got the right to your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yvonne Curry, good afternoon. Kashori's Kitchen. How you doing? Yes. They think he is clashing with the foreman because he thinks he's much smarter than everyone in the room. Okay. Well, we outside. Okay, that's a good. Hey, that's maybe. Hey, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I think. Yeah. Now, remember, the foreman is a or four my four person is a black female. Guys, this is huge. That's huge. She might hate Diddy's guts. You know what I mean? They are hashing it out right now, guys. We are here. This is D-Day. Support the channel. Yeah. Yeah. You support the channel, Yvonne Curry. Yes, tell them, Yvonne Curry. Support, hit the like button, subscribe. We appreciate you, Yvonne Curry says. I might have to give you a wrench. You're doing such a great job. I'm going to give you a wrench. I don't know. I can't give it to you while I'm on a live, but on the next live, I'm going to give you a wrench. For your tell these guys to like and subscribe to the channel. Shanti Foggy, it's a distraction, says Shanti Foggy. So Shanti Foggy, what are you saying? Do you believe Diddy? Listen, because none of us really know what those jurors are going to do, right? But y'all can give y'all opinion on, do you want to see Diddy found guilty on sex trafficking? 15 years to life he's facing. The minimum the judge can go is 15 years for sex trafficking. I believe conspiracy, the minimum is 10 years. These are minimums, not maximums. Now, for the Mann Act, engaging in prostitution, he can get about, I guess, 2 years to up to 10 years at the judge's discretion. I think he's facing two counts of the Mann Act, 1 count of RICO conspiracy, and 2 counts of sex trafficking, meaning he sex trafficked Jane as 1 count, and he sex trafficked Cassie. And we outsiders laughing, but Shanti Foggy said he walking. Kashari's Kitchen says not guilty. Y'all got to feel me. He's lighting fireworks on Friday with baby love or baby oil. With baby oil, he's lighting. The charges are wild. Now, as we are waiting, let me see what else. Let me see what else went down inside there. Now, Judge, do we have an agreed upon response? Diddy's lawyer, no, we don't. Prosecution, no, we do not. Prosecution, Miss Slavic has emailed it to Chambers. All right, Judge, do we have the defense proposal? So I know what they talk about proposal. All right, Judge says, I would refer to have a neutral response, like the government's draft response. That's the one I'll use. I'll put it on the court's letterhead. Diddy's lawyer says there is no suggestion the juror will not follow instructions, so our proposal is more inert. So there is no suggestion the juror will not follow instructions. Now, guys, this is wild right now. This is high drama inside there. Diddy's defense team is saying there is no suggestion the juror will not follow instructions, so our proposal is more inert. What's going on inside that juror's chambers, guys? Is the juror saying he will not follow the instructions? Is that juror practicing jury nullification like I said I would do? Because I said I would practice jury nullification. I would say this, I'm throwing this out. I'm saying not guilty. I'm practicing jury nullification. I do not agree with the sex trafficking law the way it's written. And I don't believe Diddy practicing sex trafficking. I would say not guilty on that. Is this juror pretty much, are they arguing, is the defense arguing with the prosecution in front of the judge? Is the prosecution not feeling this juror saying that he is not going to follow instructions? Is that what's going on? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, guys, the jury sent a note to the judge signed by the foreperson. It can be as simple as we want to leave at 5 p.m. or send us a post. All right, or we cannot reach a verdict. Or this, we have a rogue juror. This might be a rogue juror, guys. Guys, we might have a rogue juror inside that courtroom, guys. This is breaking news. Yo, hit the like button. I think we have a rogue juror inside the court. Guys, that's why I'm telling you guys, the Diddy's defense team did a masterful job. Now, like I said, the prosecution did a great job in forming a copy and paste RICO racketeering conspiracy. They did a masterful job. In some ways, you can almost, if you wanted to buy it, you can almost see Bad Boy Records being a criminal enterprise. You can almost. I'm not saying you can't, but the way they framed it, you can almost see it, right? I don't buy it at all. I believe it's baloney. But guys, I think we have a rogue juror right now. Hit the like button, guys. I believe we have a rogue juror, guys. They think juror 25 cannot follow the instructions. He may have already made up his mind with improper deliberation. Woo! Hey, we outside is bringing the, hey, oh man. Guys, hit the like button, guys. We got fireworks already, and it's not even the 4th of July, guys. Guys, we have a rogue juror, guys. My guess is that we have a rogue juror right now, guys. High drama down at the Diddy trial. High drama down there at the jury, inside the jury room, the jury chambers. High drama. We are dealing with a rogue juror right now, guys. There is a rogue juror right now. We outside says they think juror 25 cannot follow the jury instructions. Let's rephrase it. He does not want to follow the jury instructions. Maybe he is practicing jury nullification, in which I said I would do. I would say not guilty. Oh man, this is drama, guys. Hit the like button. Get the lights up. Hit the like button. Get the lights up. Subscribe to the channel. It's going down. Will we have a hung jury, guys? Woo! Oh man. Sex trafficking is horrendous. It's so disgusting and it's against the law. Yes, it is, Stacey Will. Now, I'm practicing jury nullification because I don't like the way the law is written in the code. They're saying anything. See, my definition of sex trafficking would be, if I were to write the law, it has to be forced. It has to be kidnapping. It has to be underage minors involved. Oh, really? It doesn't have to be underage minors 100%. It can be adults, but they have to be kidnapped. That they have to be held against their will, locked in a dungeon or a room. They have to be pimped out. You can be pimped out as an adult also. I can say that that's forced, right? You're giving all your money to a pimp. Diddy did not do that. Diddy was not pimping. Diddy was not collecting money. He was not sending Cassie out on a street corner, telling her, bitch, you better have my money. Nope, it wasn't that. So this is interesting. We have a rogue juror, guys. I'm thinking we have a rogue juror, guys. All right, let's see. As long as we get some type of ruckus outside the courtroom after the verdict is read, I'll be happy. Yes, I'm going to be out there. I will be out there. It is very hot right now, but once they said I was headed there. I was headed down there. But I said, you know what? Let me hold off right now because the jurors have sent the note. We are dealing with a rogue juror right now. That's the breaking news right now. Hit the like button. There is a rogue juror throwing a monkey wrench into the prosecution. Diddy's team have to be loving this right now. Diddy's team have to be loving this, guys. Hit that like button, guys. If they go off what they heard, for real, can we believe half the stuff? Because they hasn't proved 100% of nothing, and few of the witnesses was lying. Yes, I believe Shanti. And like I said, I'll be practicing jury nullification. And I'm not even sure if I would have to practice jury nullification. I would just say not guilty because I don't believe that Bad Boy Records is a criminal enterprise. So for me, using my own common sense, that would make the federal RICO racketeering charges null and void. And in my opinion, it should not have gotten this far. It should have been state charges. The charges should have been different. Without proper deliberation, says we outside. That's a mistrial, isn't it? Guys, it's some shenanigans going down right now. The jury is deliberating, guys. Hit the like button. Hit that mother effing like button. Hit that mother effing like button, guys. Woo! Did the government overreach, guys? Sex trafficking is not that bad. People think the worst when they hear the term. So many things fall under it. Yeah, it's so vague and there's so many things alive inside. It's like, hit that mother freaking like button. Do we have a rogue juror? A rogue juror. All 231 people watching. We have a rogue juror, guys. A rogue juror that is refusing to follow the instructions. Diddy's defense must be doing cartwheels. Diddy must be smiling right now. We have a juror that is refusing to follow the instructions inside that courtroom. Big time breaking news. Hit that like button. Oh, man. Woo! Somebody got to him or her, in my opinion. Whoa, soulfully hurt. Oh, you're saying is that the fix is in. The fix is in. Sammy the Bull got to him. Sammy the Bull. Because that's what happened during the John Gotti trial. It said that Sammy the Bull, he paid off the jury. He made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Oh man, this is big time, guys. Hit that like button. All right, now we got an update from the judge. The judge says, I don't want to suggest to the jury that there is any particular time they must deliberate. I don't want to tell them they just started, okay? I'm going with the government version. We will print that out. DAD, send it in. Okay. And he says adjourned. Okay. Like I said, if y'all guys are just joining us, the jury sent out the note to the judge, and people were speculating what was in that note. One of the jurors is saying, well, the other jurors is saying that there's a rogue juror, and that juror will not or cannot follow the instructions of the judge. Is he practicing jury nullification? People are speculating. They're saying the note can mean we have a rogue juror, guys. They want Diddy to go down, but that juror ain't going. Yo, hit that like button. A rogue juror is inside that courtroom, guys. A rogue juror is pissing off the head foreman or foreperson who was a black female. Obviously, she's pissed off. See, man, what is going on inside there? What is going on? Subscribe to the channel, guys. I will be out there in a few minutes after I'm done with this live. I had to come live, though. This is crazy. Diddy is guilty of all charges. We must pay when we do wrong. Too much wrong. He did, period. Hey, Stalk CB, we'll see. Hey, obviously, that rogue juror, I don't think he's buying what you're selling. Guys, we have a rogue juror, guys. Let me put a banner up. Let me put a banner up. Guys, is Diddy coming home? Is Diddy coming home? Wait, we have a rogue juror. We have a rogue juror. Diddy's team has to be doing cartwheels, guys. Diddy's team has to be doing cartwheels. We have a rogue juror. Right there. Let me. We have a rogue juror, guys. Thank you for that donation. Thank you for that donation. Key Hype. If guilty, they got too much out on appeal, says $2 Key Hype. Guys, what is going on in the jury chambers, guys? We have a rogue juror. I believe we're about to have a hung jury, guys. That's my early prediction. This is just an early prediction of mine, Raze. You know what I'm saying? What do you put it in? Put it in. Give y'all predictions, guys. Super chats are welcome too. Super chats are welcome. Cash apps are welcome. We are at the end of this. We are at the end of this, and thank you, Key Hype. What is y'all guys' prediction? Is this headed towards a hung jury, guys? And in the event of a hung jury, that doesn't necessarily mean Diddy walks free. If there is a hung jury on all of these charges, the judge can instruct the jurors to continue deliberating, right? Also, the prosecution can just go ahead and dismiss it and just say, drop the charges, say, you know what, we're not going to do this again. They can just, dismiss it. There can be a plea deal worked out, right? Or they can say, okay, we will retry the case. And Diddy would still have to sit in prison unless they give a bail. And I think they would give a bail this time if they decide to retry the case. So the prosecution can just drop the case altogether if there is a hung jury. They could reach a plea deal, right? So this is high drama right now, guys. This is high drama going on inside that courtroom. We have a rogue juror. A rogue juror. Take that, says Carlos Cortez. Take that. O'Neal Gray says, beat it. Oh, Mark Agnifilo. People were clowning Mark Agnifilo. People were clowning Diddy's defense team. They said they have no defense. But, guys, we are here right now. I said Diddy put together a dream team. And I was saying, sometimes in life, less is more. Diddy's defense team said, you know what? We're not going to put up all these, witnesses to testify on Diddy's behalf because they're going to get cross-examined. We don't need that. We feel that the prosecution did not prove their case. They did not prove that this is RICO racketeering. They did not prove that Jane and Cassie were sex trafficked. So you know what? Less is more in this situation. That was their strategy. These are highly professional, highly talented, defense attorneys. And look at One Love. They got One Love smiling right now. Of course, Diddy got to be smiling right now. Diddy has to be smiling. He has a shot. He has a chance to pull a huge upset, guys. It's hard to beat these charges because, like I said, they just blanket you with all these charges. They just put all these charges on you. And surely they're going to find you guilty of one of them, right? Now, guys, you need 12 jurors to say unanimously guilty to convict on one of the 5 charges, either of these 5 charges. And vice versa. You need all 12 to say not guilty for an acquittal. I don't believe you're going to get an acquittal because I don't believe you're going to have all 12 jurors say not guilty. I just don't believe it, even though they should for some of these charges, but they're not. I don't believe you. And I don't think you're going to get all 12 to say guilty for any of these charges. I think that's thus. I think you're going to have a hung jury for most of these charges. Now, maybe they come to an agreement. They're like, you know what? Let's find them guilty on something. Maybe the Mann Act. The Mann Act could be a minimum of 1.5 years, 2 years to 10 years prison time. And that'll give the judge some leeway to, maybe give him 10 years or maybe only give him time served up to 2 years, which he'll have another year to do, which that'll be a victory also. We'll see. We'll see if the jurors say, you know what? Well, obviously the feds want to get him on something, right? So you know what? We have an out here. We can find him guilty on the Mann Act, which is engaging in prostitution, but we're not going to find him guilty unanimously on the other stuff. They can do that also. Give the prosecution a win that they want, as far as finding him guilty on a lesser charge, and letting the judge sentence him how he wants. Guys, this is high drama right here. Watch the party he throws, says Shorty 4. Guys, Tisa is melting down in her live because she thinks he may get off that. Oh, Tisa Tells is having a meltdown. Yo, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. I told you guys. I was telling you guys, this is not a slam dunk. Diddy may walk. Guys, yo, this is breaking news. Yo, who would have ever thought, guys? Who Tisa tells is having a meltdown, according to Alive Inside. What's going on with my guy Ticket TV? What's Ticket TV? How is he look? It's all about the jurors, guys. Guys, this is breaking news. We have a rogue juror that is refusing to follow the judge's instructions. Guys, hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. There's obviously a juror that is not buying what the prosecution is saying. And remember, guys, all the reports. I was down there at the court on Friday, and people that was inside the courtroom were saying that the jurors were smiling, hee, and laughing, ha, ha, as Mark Agnifilo put out his closing statements for the defense, basically calling this a joke, saying, hey, the USA is more safer now that all those bottles of baby oil and Astroglide is off the streets. And the jurors were laughing, chuckling at Mark Agnifilo. People called Mark Agnifilo a clown for taking the comedic route. And I believe he did a masterful job at winning the jury, or at least winning one or two of them. And that's all he was supposed to do. Freak feelings. Who cares about people's feelings? His job is to get his client off, who is paying him big time money to get him off. The judge is basically saying that he will let the jury hash it out, says we outside. Hit the like button, guys. Hit that like button. They big mad. They big mad over there? Tisa tells big mad? Oh, man. Subscribe to the channel, guys. This is D-Day for Diddy. They big mad? They big mad? Woo! They really trying to punish this man for being a freak. Hi, Maria. Hi, Maria. Troy Ave is in the building. Salute to Troy Ave. We have a rogue juror, guys. You know, Diddy's people got to one of the jurors. Y'all believe that? Do y'all believe? Did one of Diddy's people get, hey, y'all guys got a right to y'all opinions, man. Free Diddy says scam likely. Hope Diddy gets off and making a ban. Juror about to get paid. Lily says not guilty. My guy K9 No Fear Travel was in the building. Salute to my guy. Check out my guy K9 No Fear Travel inside the travel sector. Juror gonna get paid, and I don't blame him, says Elgin. And I warn people, I'm like, this is social media age. Whoever finds Diddy not guilty is gonna go do interviews, just like the Punisher is doing, and get paid. Become a star. I told people this is not a slam dunk case. Elgin, juror is gonna, yes, yeah. Did he get to all the jurors? Free Diddy says Maria. Free the Diddler, he's a bona fide perv, but that's not illegal. It's just weird. A lot of people would agree with you. I believe that he did do some crimes, but they didn't charge him with the proper crimes. That's the issue. That's the problem with any time a prosecution is too zealous with their charges on anything. They run the risk of getting a not guilty because of the overcharging instead of charging with the proper crimes. And that's just not, that doesn't just go for RICO. That could go for murder. That's why sometimes instead of bringing murder charges like first-degree murder, they would say, all right, manslaughter and this and that. Because if they overcharge a person, the jury could find not guilty, and now you don't get any conviction. You know what I'm saying? Mistrial, says Shawnee Froggy. Lock up Tupac's killer. Hey, like I said, if they were to bring up charges for that and have another trial for that, I'll be all with it if they have evidence. Biggie and Tupac would be here if it wasn't for Diddy. Like I said, if they bring up charges on that somehow, they have some evidence, I'll be all for that. We Outside says Juror 25 may have decided guilty without deliberations. We don't know. Oh, that is, you're all right. You all right, We Outside. I mean, you all right. To be fair, you all right. I think it's the opposite. I believe Juror 25 is saying not guilty, and throwing a monkey wrench to the thing. But yeah, but you are right. There is a possibility, but I think the way Diddy's defense team is not, really protesting it. I think Diddy's defense team thinking that Juror is on the side of them because they didn't protest it. You know what I'm saying? So let me read to you what the Diddy's defense team said. So by all right. Since Diddy's defense team was kind of all for that juror, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Let me go back to what the Diddy's defense team said. Hit that like button, though, guys. We are in deliberations. Of the jury of the Diddy trial, the day of reckoning for Diddy. Will he be doing 15 years to life? Yeah, because Diddy's defense team was saying that, they don't have an issue with that juror. You know what I'm saying? So that leads me to believe that this juror, is rogue in favor of a not guilty. The whole case, but I could be wrong. But I'm going by how the Diddy's defense team responded. You know what I'm saying? Please subscribe to the channel, guys. Anybody new to the channel? Did he have to be smiling right now? Because chaos in the jury chambers only benefits Diddy, guys. Having chaos inside the jurors' chambers as they deliberate benefits Diddy. That means there's some arguing going on. That means they can't come to a decision unanimously. The whole case has been sensationalized. He would get a maximum of 15 years if found guilty. Like I said, the minimum is 15 years to life for sex trafficking in itself. I believe conspiracy is a minimum of 10 years up to life for conspiracy for the RICO. And if the Mann Act for transferring, dealing with prostitutes up to 10 years. Up to 10 years. Just give him community service. Tisa is biased. Tisa tells is biased. Says Maurice Bingham. Music industry, lifestyle, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Free Diddy, says Maria. Jurors have friends. Friends have needs. Money talks. BS walks, says One Love. Brandon Clark, Stocks Passport is in the building. Wow, thanks for the update, Raze. You called it correct. Yes. I said it was all about the jury and those jurors. And I said, you know what? Really, I can't predict what the jury is going to do. But I said those are human beings with their own, biases and likes and histories and relationships and whatever. And some might think like me and say, you know what, this case should never have been brought to trial as far as in this form. Or some may think like the prosecution. And this is not going to be a slam dunk case. And here we are. We have a rogue juror. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brandon Clark. His only crime is domestic violence. And unfortunately, the thing that I would find him guilty on if I was on the jury is domestic violence. You know what I mean? There's evidence of domestic violence. That's the only real evidence they have of anything. All the other stuff is circumstantial, hearsay, you know, alleged victims, alleged witnesses who were subpoenaed by the prosecution, threatened by the prosecution, threatened with charges on their own to get charged to testify on the behalf of the prosecution. So it's like, well, why should I believe them? You know what I'm saying? Like, they are being threatened. They are being coerced by the government to testify against Diddy. They are being coerced. They are being coerced, literally. Threatened with their freedom on the line. So how credible can those witnesses be? 100%. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a while before the verdict comes. Calm down. Like I said, well, that's why I just stayed inside right now, because I'm like, well, no point of being out there at the courtroom right now, because it's going to be some more deliberation. Now, I was headed there, but then I stopped, because once they said the jury handed a note, I said, oh my God, I'm not going to make it down to the court in time. I'm not going to make it down there. There might be a verdict, but there wasn't a verdict. There's a rogue juror. So I think it's going to take a couple more hours. The judge have given the jurors an option to stay past the 5 p.m. because normally they do 9 to 5. The judge is giving the jurors an option to stay past 5 p.m. So, yeah. LOL laughing with Mark Agnifilio. It's a joke case. Yeah, and I said he should laugh it off. He was being comedic, and I believe he should have been comedic and laugh off the prosecution's case. Like, this is a joke. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted to humiliate Diddy. Says Zaba. The charges don't match the evidence. Hey, Raze. Yes, shout out to you, Maria. Diddy can't burn in Hades. Man, RH, I don't know. Is he? Is juror number 5 that? I don't know. Is he that? I don't know. Shout out to Davey Milton. Razor hugs. What's your predictions, guys? This is D-Day for Diddy. Really be doing 15 years of life. The men were escorts. It's not prostitution. Like I keep saying, if they get Diddy on sex trafficking, well, all right. Well, if they get him on even a Man Act, that means the people that sold Diddy those prostitutes, they should be charged also, because those prostitutes came from a company, escort company. So how are they allowed to sell escorts? You know what I mean? But Diddy is getting charged for buying escorts. You know what I'm saying? How does the people that sell the escorts to Diddy get away without being charged? But Diddy gets charged and is facing 15 years of life, or up to 10 years of the Mann Act. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. Shout out to Buck Travels in the building. Salute. I see new people in your chat. I'm assuming they are coming from the Diddy trial coverages. Yes. There are a bunch of new people over the past month, actually. Shout out to everybody who has been following me, covering this Diddy trial, all the new subscribers. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to you, Buck. You know what I'm saying? A reporter said Juror 25 is a gay 51-year-old male, old white male. Okay, so all right. So all right. I take your word for it, RH. I take your word for it. Yes, domestic violence for sure, but it's not what he's charged for. Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Unfortunately, Juror 25 can still be replaced if he does not follow the jury instructions. Yes, and that's why they have those other jurors as replacement jurors. Diddy needs to start a oil company freak off oil. Might as well make your money, since after many people probably won't work with him. Brett Fisher says, yo, salute to you, Brett Fisher. Hit that like button, guys. We have a rogue juror. It's the breaking news. The story right now. A rogue juror inside that courthouse. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's look at a professional. Let's stop listening to what Raze got to say, right? Now, there was a lawyer named Lionel Legal. Subscribe to his channel. I dropped his channel yesterday. Lionel Legal had this to say about this case, and subscribe to Lionel Legal's channel.
I recognize the fact that what I'm saying is incredibly redundant, and I know you've heard me for the millionth time, and I'm going to say it for the millionth time because I think it's important and critical that everybody understands what this is. There is no way that if there exists any kind of a law, any kind of criminal justice system, that Diddy should be found guilty of anything. And this may confound you, it may bother you, great, because he's not guilty of what they charged him with in federal court. You don't throw these terms around. You don't say things like trafficking and racketeering in violation of the Mann Act and the white slavery statute because a couple of people were involved in what appeared to be basically a big house party and orgy run amok. If you go through this, if you go through the facts of this, that's what's important. And that's what I've been talking and saying. The idea of a racketeering conspiracy is ridiculous. This was no enterprise. This was not the mafia. This was not the Colombos or the Lucchese's. This was a celebrity entourage, a group, a posse. Notice I spelled it P-O-S-S-E. There is no relatedness. There was no enterprise. There is the relatedness component of this, where you can say that the alleged acts and the drugs and the sex and the money and all of that stuff were isolated incidents, not a part of a coordinated plan. And second of all, there's no continuity. No relatedness, no continuity. The incidents were episodic, chaotic, abusive to be sure, but not organized.
Not organized. That was Lionel Legal. Check out his channel. I'm going to play some more of Lionel Legal. And I agree 100% with that guy who is a law professor. Well, a lawyer, actually. I agree 100%. It's not organized. It's not organized crime, thus making the RICO charges null and void, in my opinion. And if I was the jury, if I was on a jury, I would find not guilty. Obviously, juror number 25, the rogue juror, is having trouble following the judge's instructions. I believe he probably feels like me, and just saying, F this. This is not, not guilty. He blatantly told them he won't be able to follow the rules. At least the juror is honest, says Zeb Bates. So Zeb, right now, knowing what you know about what's going on in the jury chambers, how do you think this is going to go, Zeb? How do you think this is going to go? How do you think it's going to go, Zeb? Diddy has a ton to appeal if found guilty, says Jay Crite. Shout out to you, Jay Crite. How you doing, Jay Crite? They have receipts, says Belinda Scott. Maria says 100. Too bad he's not living in Idaho. You might very well be facing the death penalty by firing squad. New law passed in March of this month, says Steve Young. Man. Why would they replace Juror 25? Yeah, why would they? Well, I guess if you're saying, look, he refuses to follow. If he's saying he refuses to follow the judge's instruction, I guess they could kick him out. High drama. Free Puff says Thomas Powell. We have a rogue juror, guys, inside the court. Ain't no party like a Diddy party, says John Harmon. I have followed the case also, so I don't know if he is messing with underage kids. He needs to be put away. No, there is no evidence of him messing with underage minors. Nobody has charged him with that. This is not R. Kelly. R. Kelly was charged with that, and he was convicted of that. This is not that type of case. Diddy is not charged with dealing with underage minors in this case. No person testified on this trial that they were underage or anything like that. No person even testified that they were actually drugged and assaulted, So let me see. Let me Ticket TV is drooling for the guilty verdict due to him being emotional and jealous. Same with Tisa Tells. What are they saying? Well, somebody told me Tisa Tells was having a meltdown right now. How is Ticket TV taking to this rogue juror? The news of the rogue juror. All right. Zeb says they're just dragging it out to milk the most money possible out this case. End of the week or next Monday. I'm thinking will be the verdict. Check that juror in his family's bank account. Well, you know, if anything, it'll be cash. It'll be cash money under the table. You know what I'm saying? It'll be cash money. So yeah. Y'all saying they paid off the jury. Oh man. Drop a knot is happy. Hit the like button, guys. Yeah, I don't know about that juror 25. I don't know why they said juror 25. There are 12 jurors, so I don't know what they mean by juror 25. But one of the jurors is going rogue, has gone rogue. You know what I'm saying? And he's probably trying to convict all the other jury members to say not guilty. It's crazy because everybody has grown and knew what was going on. So are we even having a conversation about this? They made a choice, and hey, yeah, grown folks, and grown folks have a right to say, you know, I regret what I did, but you made the choice as a grown folk. You might have some, you know, you might have some guilt that you did that. You might even blame Diddy for him convincing you to do what you did. Now you have some regret. I mean, it is what it is. You just gotta live with it and move on with your life. I mean, you made the adult decision. You wasn't a minor, and that's the argument right now. You know what I'm saying? Which she, all right, paid him in Bitcoin. Hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. How y'all think it's gonna go? Here's some more Lionel legal.
Chaotic, abusive to be sure, but not organized, not systemic. No one was employed in a criminal network. Friends and girlfriends and staff all voluntarily were present in the orbit, the gravitational pull of fame and excess. And that's the way that is. Simple. Simple. A house party, an orgy, isn't a racketeering enterprise. And to suggest that this was sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion is an abomination to the people who have been, in fact, actually involved in that. I would be furious if I was a practitioner. I would be furious. Consent, intent, whatever you want to call it, these were adult relationships at best. Messy, toxic, even manipulative, but they were not, were not trafficking. Agency and participation is another one. Agency as in being an agent. The victims, the putative victims, remained in relationships. They took money and accepted gifts and traveled by choice. No commercial sex arrangement, forced or brokered, was there. It was intimate. It wasn't transactional. It was in the legal sense. Force, fraud, coercion. This is the thing. Did they ever call the police? Were there threats or just power imbalances? Intimidation versus a threat. Did people feel like they couldn't say no based upon the power differential?
Hit that like button. Lionel Legal, breaking it down. Subscribe to his channel, Lionel Legal. Breaking it down, guys. I'm going to play more from Lionel Legal. All right. Epibine, Jake White, humiliation ritual. At the same time, the public opinion can't side with the prosecutors too much because many adults for fact know they be on some freaky stuff also. Yeah, and it brings into question setting bad precedent. And that's what I've always been saying. It sets a bad precedent that the government can be this intrusive into your bedrooms. Listen, grown folks is going to do what grown folks do. They're going to go back. They're going to have toxic relationships. is not for the government to come between every single toxic relationship and to target one person for a toxic relationship and bring RICO racketeering charges, not even charge them with the thing that the law enforcement is supposed to step in if there's abuse or whatever. Yeah, then the government can step in, or the state can step in and charge, press charges for the victim. Because sometimes the victim don't want to press charges; she's getting beat up. So I can see that, but the drop RICO racketeering is an overreach in abuse of the RICO system. You know what I'm saying? And it sets a bad precedent. Shout out to you, B Sharp. Shout out to you, B Sharp. Please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Anybody new to the channel? Anybody new to this channel? Raise a Raze. We've been covering this for we've been out there. Well, we've been covering it ever since Diddy was arrested. I believe that we were all gaslit. We thought they were going to have minors and underage victims. We thought there was going to be crazy amounts of celebrities involved in this. We thought the feds were going to bring more evidence, more real evidence. I thought when they said they found drugs inside this guy's house, I thought they was talking about kilos of coke. I thought he was dealing cocaine. I thought he was Pablo Escobar. But no, it turned to find out it was a person who used drugs. Drug possession. I mean, these should have been state charges, guys. State charges. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Zeb says they've been had their decisions. I think it's not much to go off. We all know this case is redundant. All the juror have to do is say guilty or not. They could have ended this 2 weeks ago, says Zeb Bates. That like button. Shanti says, listen to Lionel Legal. Yes, I was listening closely to Lionel Legal. I'm gonna play some more from Lionel Legal. B Sharp says you should have went to the courthouse earlier today. The Shade Room posted some black YouTubers today giving their thoughts on the trial. It would have been good PR. Oh well, yeah. The thing is, see, I can do more from right here right now because I can follow what's going on. And I could get my battery charged and stuff like that. If I was out there, I was going to go out there very early. But I said, you know what? There's not going to be a verdict until like late afternoon, if it is one today. You know what I'm saying? So I can do more from right here, right now. I am going to go out there, though, in the next like 30 minutes to an hour. I am going to go out there anyway. But just in case there is a verdict. But yeah. But I understand what you're saying. But shout out to Sean G. I was on his podcast like 2 weeks ago. Shout out to him. He let me on his podcast. And we discussed this Sean G, the podcast for Soul. I was up there, so that was cool to be, talking about the case with him. This was like 2 weeks ago, though. So I'm gonna be out there. But shout out to you, B Sharp. Wrong. He's wrong. It was transactional. Yeah, it was transactional. But like I said, we doing 15 years to life, though. And like I said, if that's wrong, then the people that sold him those escorts should be held liable too, because then that means they're selling prostitutes out of that what's that, Angels and something company, escort service, where the Punisher came from and the other guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you open up Pandora's box. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I care about him buying some prostitutes? You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. I'm not giving him 15 years. Like I'm saying, that's not 15 years to life type stuff. Who said I'm skipping Who said I'm skipping? If I was skipping comments, I wouldn't read your comment, Mac. Why are you so defensive? I read people say that he should be found guilty. Diddy is done. I put those comments up there. What you say I'm skipping comments? I'm not deleting comments, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading your comment. Your comments always be negative. So really, I could have skipped over your comments. And Mac, hell, I could have just blocked you if I wanted to silence people that I don't agree with, or people that's saying he's not guilty. I want your guys' comments. I want you guys to say if he's guilty or not. I'm asking you guys. I don't want you guys to say. I want you guys to say if y'all feel he's guilty and should be sentenced to life. You're more than free to say it, and I'm gonna put it up there, and I'm gonna challenge you on it. But so no, I'm not skipping comments. So I damn sure wouldn't be reading your comments if I felt that way, in Mac. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you don't agree with me. OJ Juror, Diddy walks. I am new. Yes, shout out to everybody that is new. Sharice Brewster, appreciate you. You know, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It was a relationship. Yes. Cassie, it was a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It was, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think the prosecution proved RICO charges, and I'm not saying that because I think Sean Diddy Combs is 100% innocent. However, I know for a fact he's not 100% guilty. There you go. There you go. If the condom don't fit, you must acquit. Oh, man. Let's listen to some more of legal, Lionel legal. Break it
threat.
down.
Did people feel like they couldn't say no based upon the power differential? Did the prosecution prove intent to exploit? There was seduction, to be sure, but not sex trafficking. This is what is critical. And as far as transportation for prostitution, the white slavery statute, the Mann Act violation, again, act or definition. No one was trafficked across state lines for prostitution. There was a private relationship, not a pimping. This wasn't assignation and all these other great common law crimes. You have to look at the definition of prostitution. Was sex offered for money, or was it part of a consensual, romantic, celebrity lifestyle? No. This is the most important thing. Did the alleged victims, did they choose to travel for parties and events and relationships? Were they told to perform for pay? The prosecution has got to prove that Diddy intended to have someone cross state lines for illegal sex work. Period. End of discussion. And proving that beyond a reasonable doubt and beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt within a degree of moral certainty is very tough, to say the least. They travel for this is a defense spectacle. I have no earthly idea what motivated the Biden administration to involve themselves in this. I have no earthly idea whatever motivated them in the least to even pursue this. What were they thinking? What was the purpose of this? What? No one knows. No one can figure this thing out. Nobody can. I can't. I'm wondering why. What was the purpose of this? Why did you do this? What were you trying to accomplish? Why?
Why? We have a rogue juror. That is the breaking news right now. Subscribe to Lionel Legal. Bring in the heat. Yeah. He's pissing people off. Some people that want to see Diddy go to jail for life. But he is bringing his legal expertise to the table. Subscribe to Lionel Legal.
Why? What was the purpose of this? Why did you do this? What were you trying to accomplish? Why? What was the point? We don't know. This happens all the time. This was Hugh Hefner, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. This has been going on. They do football games, and you know, I've asked this question. There's about like 2,000 to 3,000 maybe total professional athletes in baseball, football, basketball in the United States, and of that group, of those folks, of that team, of that group, there are probably more independent groups negotiating parties and passels and hordes and orgies of women that you can imagine all the time. It's been going on since day one, and that's not right. It's immoral, fine, but it's not federal, and it's not. And if there is a God, he must be acquitted, because we cannot live in a system that would allow somebody to be, in essence, violated, to be, what am I trying to say, to be charged with this, to be prosecuted, merely because we don't like his sexual activities. Federal trafficking, think children, think people padlocked in trailers and tractor trailers and brought and transported and flown, and oh my God. He must be acquitted. If that jury is even 10% efficient. They've got to throw this out. And if by some stretch of the imagination he's found guilty of this, then they'll get him on appeal. They'll reverse it on appeal. This is horrible.
Lionel Legal bringing the heat, guys. He said they must acquit. They must acquit if the condom don't fit. Hit the like button. Yo, subscribe to the channel, guys. Subscribe to the channel, guys. He said this was Hugh Hefner. This is Hugh Hefner. This is not federal. This should not be a federal. There are some crimes committed, guys. I'm not saying it, but that should be state crimes. That's all I'm saying. This is overreach by the federal government. They should not be doing this. They should have got him state charges for drug possession if they really wanted to do that. You know, listen, drug trafficking, really? So they're pretty much saying, look, just because he has some private use drugs and that he shared some of his drugs with some friends at the freak-offs, he's drug trafficking. Well, you know what? Anybody that buys a joint, right? You know, or buy some weed, and they pass the they pass the weed around on a stoop in Brooklyn out here, right? And you know, people share a joint on a stoop. Guess what? According to the government, that's drug trafficking, right? You know, you got a Blackwood or whatever, and y'all sharing it. Well, I bought it for my own personal use, but since I'm passing it around on a stoop out here inside Brooklyn, I'm engaging in drug trafficking. Come on, guys. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? He wasn't selling drugs. That's not, come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, come on. Like, it's overreach. It's targeting. You know, in NFL, they gotta, you know, NFL, they got a rule against targeting now. It's targeting, you know, they targeting Diddy. That means everybody who ever smoked a joint, you know what I'm saying, smoked some weed and passed it around on the stoop out here in Brooklyn is guilty of drug trafficking. Make it make sense, guys. Come on, guys. Diddy had personal use drugs, and he was, yeah, he allowed people to take some, grown folks, grown adults. Remember, not minors. And this is huge. If they were underage minors, I would say, well, yeah, he's giving it to minors and this and that. Nope. These are all grown folks with the ability to just say no. Remember Nancy Reagan in the 80s? Just say no. He wasn't selling it to them. They were having parties, freak offs. They wanted to be around Diddy. They wanted to be around that lifestyle. They wanted to get high, some of them. It was their decision. Bust them on drug possession if you want. But for the love of God, you are opening up a Pandora's box if you get him as one of those predicates for drug trafficking to the RICO. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Cut it out. Cut it out. So it's handing out with the expectations to resuscitate sex illegal. That's what the jurors are trying to decide right now. It's like, you know, all these laws is like, it's crazy. You can, like I said, technically you get arrested for jaywalking. You know what I'm saying? Just giving our rights away. Yeah, and the disturbing part is people want to give their rights away just so they can bury Diddy because they didn't like the Cassie beatdown video. You know what I'm saying? You want to give away your rights and root for this to go down and him to be found guilty of this stuff just so you can celebrate and you can say, we got Diddy. Well, you just gave away your rights now. Now the government is going to use this case as a precedent in future cases against normal people that have a business. And now they can drop this atomic bomb of RICO racketeering on basically anybody now. And they're going to go back and look at this case as an example of getting a conviction. And, you know what I'm saying? You get it? Yeah. They should give warnings and let them know the new minute laws before charging not guilty. Like I said, Zeb Bates says the law is the law. Well, then Zeb, I'm quite sure you did jaywalking before. You might as well. Are you going to turn yourself in, Zeb? Zeb, are you going to go down to your nearest precinct, Zeb Bates, and turn yourself in? Say, hey, the law is the law. I committed jaywalking, and I got this. I've been having this on my head and in my heart and on my mind for years since I was a little kid. I jaywalked since I was a little kid. I broke the law, and I'm here to turn myself in because the law is the law. Hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. The law is the law. I did jaywalking all my life. I'm a 30-year offender. Judge, sentence me. Sentence me, Zeb says to the judge. They have proof of that. And that's the thing. You know, it's all circumstantial. They have no proof. The feds did not bring it. The feds didn't bring the proof. Even Judge Judy, I keep saying, Judge Judy says you come to court, you gotta come with proof. You come to court, you gotta come to proof. The proof the feds put up there are crackhead witnesses that were given immunity because they were scared that they were in testifying on behalf of the feds because they are scared they're gonna be charged. So they are being coerced to testify against Diddy. You know, it is what it is. Salute to Jima's world. Jima, we have a rogue juror. Failure to follow jury instructors could mean hung jury. Yes, Drew. 30-year jaywalking offender. Yeah, 30-year jaywalking. Hey, everybody that says the law is the law, well, then, damn it, that you guys that say that, I want you guys to walk down to your nearest precinct and turn yourself in for jaywalking because it is against the law to jaywalk. Walk out in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? While the light is green for the cars. You're supposed to be in that crosswalk, damn it. Stop breaking the law because the law is the law. Woo, we have a rogue juror, guys. Get them lights up, guys. Yeah. Woo! No, I didn't get the $20 for the Diddy shirt. I didn't get the $20 for the Diddy shirt, Karen. Oh man. All the women was looking at Diddy like the biggest trick. And they wanted his money. Yes, 100%. They wanted his money. They wanted the lifestyle. They have some regrets. There were some regrets there. And Crimea River, it is what it is. You're grown folks. You're grown folks. You enter that lifestyle. You can't prosecute every single thing. That's not for the government to be hopping in, prosecuting every single thing. And prosecuting. They made the choice to get with that freakish drug addict Diddy. A person that's a swinger. And basically he told Jane that, look, he likes multiple women at a time. I mean, she decided to go ahead with it. So it is what it is. I mean, you know, man, I'm with Lionel Legal, and you know, this should not have been even brung forth. Diddy forgot to pay someone, says Steve Anthony. Bombing a car is a federal arson. Hey, prove it. You know, you got to come to court with evidence. You can't just make allegations without the evidence. You know, you're trying to get somebody 15 years of life. You know what I'm saying? You know, where's the camera? Where's the camera? We're in the age of camera footage. Everybody has a camera phone. You know what I'm saying? You know, where's the evidence? Where's the hardcore evidence? And you can't just go by people that's being coerced by the federal government under duress to testify against Diddy because they are granted immunity. They are scared of the government. So yeah, they're gonna cook up a story to say, look, or maybe over exaggerate. Now, Diddy probably did burn that man's car. I'm inclined to believe he did have somebody burn the car, but I can't 100%. I don't 100% see the proof that he did. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. And like I said, that happened years ago when it's like him and Kid Cudi met up already about that. situation. It was it was bad, but it was a domestic dispute. It was a love triangle, and they hashed that out already. So what is the government stepping in for now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that was years ago. Like I said, if burning a car is so bad, then those people that's rioting out there inside California that's burning cars, they should be brung up on charges then, right? In them riots, those anti-ICE riots, they burning cars out there. They were. Are you going to give them 15 years to life in prison? People don't want to talk about that, though. You know, it is what it is. So bombing a car, if that's federal arson, Eureka, then go charge those rioters. Yo, you don't want to do that, right, Eureka? You see, I'm a common sense guy over here. So anybody that say bombing a car is a federal arson crime, right? Are you gonna go to your nearest courthouse or your nearest senator and say, arrest those protesters, those rioters out there inside California that burn cars on camera with evidence? There's evidence out there. There's evidence of people burning cars out there on camera, not circumstantial. You got the video. They got the video all on CNN, all of the news. Or are you going to advocate, if it's a federal crime, let's be real here, are you going to advocate for those rioters, protesters, to get hit with federal charges? No, you're not going to, because you don't really care. You just want to get Diddy. You want to nail Diddy. Woo, man, we cooking. We cooking right now. Hit that like button. Guys, we have a rogue juror. Yes. A car seat with a cigarette lighter and female fingerprints. Nonsense. Yes. And I heard the car wasn't even really 100% engulfed in flames, guys. Come on. We're like I said, if you're not going to go get those rioters that burned the cars for that, you're not going to, like, this is, what are we doing? You guys are very petty. People break laws every day. They just don't get caught. Diddy got caught. Well, like I said, with the arson, there's camera footage of people burning cars out there. And if you're not going to get them on arson or any other riots, you know, people that have been rioting over the past 40 years in the country, if you're not going to put them, go back in time, like you're trying to go back in time without even 100% evidence that Diddy did that to the man car. But there's video evidence of people burning cars in hundreds of riots over the whatever, how many riots in the United States over the past 50 years. If you're not going to go back in time and arrest them for that, hey, but hey, to each their own. Reaching case, says Maria. Woo, doop, doop, doop. Diddy hitting hot wings on the 4th of July. He should be doing it in Indonesia, though, with Russell Simmons, just in case they try to bring state charges on him. Oh, man. Death penalty for Diddy? Hey, listen, well, he's not facing death penalty, but like I said over here, you got a right to your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Slow bus kids believe anything. Gossiping is the new crack. Free Diddy. You see, I trip people up when they say it's the law, the law, the law. Well, obviously, if it's the law, then we all going to jail for breaking the law, because we've all broke the law in some shape or form in America. I mean, there's laws for everything. There is laws for everything on the books, and we have all guilty. Like I said, we all guilty of jaywalking. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Plus, all the witnesses didn't need immunity if they stood on their stories. Exactly 100. What did you feel about Epstein? There were minors involved with Epstein, and he had minors, and he was found guilty, and he committed suicide. So, Eureka. I mean, and so he's done with. It's not that case. Diddy is not accused of dealing with minors. See, you're trying to conflate Epstein with Diddy, but you can't, because Epstein case was dealing with underage minors, and he was convicted, found guilty, and committed suicide. Eureka. Let's see who else we got in the building. We got Fresh Evans says free puff. Shout out to you, Fresh Evans. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. We're following the jury deliberations right now out there, Lower Manhattan. I'm going to be out there a little bit later on. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. If he's set free, he will be cocky and they will create a monster. Hey, that's too bad. I mean, they should have brought the proper charges and you would have got a conviction. You know what I'm saying? If you would have got him on assault, if the state would have brought charges, right? And if they would have did it within the statute of limitations, or they could have found some type of charges to get him on, right? But the thing is, I mean, you would think they could find some type of realistic charges that the jury can find. All right, get him on drug possession and stuff like that. State charge, drug possession. Get him on engaging in prostitution if you wanna go that route. State charge properly, and not this federal RICO. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to do the federal government's job. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Charge the person properly, and you would get you won't be having problems with having a rogue juror. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have been a rogue juror, just like this juror. I would have been a rogue juror and said not guilty, and I would have said, you know what, bunk it, not guilty on all of the charges, just because I don't appreciate the fact that the government even bought this as a federal RICO racketeering. You are insulting my intelligence. You know what I'm saying? People and the law are biased based on the defendant. Neither can be trusted. It's an attack on a successful black man. Diddy was with a 37-year-old woman, no minors. Yes, this is not Jeffrey Epstein. This is not even R. Kelly. Hey, guys. You know what I'm saying? Sue Cassie for RICO. And speaking of Cassie, was Cassie the real ringleader? Was she the real goon, the real gangster of this relationship, guys? Poor old Cassie. She could not do anything. She was a victim. Wait a minute, guys, because we had the clip of Cassie threatening to what? Unalive somebody because he said that he had a freak off tape of her and DJ Woo Kid.
So you're telling me that he showed you a video of Who Kid Cassie? Then that's not a real video because he's never
in that
me.
position, you would have been naked. I'm just saying, if you
So
were,
he's in the video.
I'm saying if I had a picture.
Is he in the video?
Yeah, but I'm saying if I had a picture.
Then that's not me.
But I'm just saying, look, hold on. You have to understand. If I had a picture of you naked.
If there's a picture of me naked, that's completely different than a video of me.
So
the video that he showed you, he's in it.
Yeah, we can try to pull it.
How are you gonna? Oh no, your phones are right here.
Try to pull it. You can try to pull it. You can try to pull it.
On the internet?
Yeah, you can try to pull it.
Where?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, which phone?
You can bring
the Samsung?
Yeah, you can bring it.
So you have it or you don't have it? Can you just be clear with me? Do you have it?
I saw it and I don't want to ever see it again.
I know you don't, but I want to see it.
Yeah, but I don't want to see it, bro.
Yeah, you don't have to see it, but it's my life and I'll kill you.
Yeah, but
I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you and I will hide you and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now. Pull it up. If you have it, pull that up. Because if not, I'm going to kill you and then he's going to kill you again. So just do it. Pull that up right now.
Ooh, revelation. Cassie acting like a goon, a gangster. Hit that like button, guys. Miss Weak Victim, threatening to unalive this guy. Ooh. Now, why didn't the federal prosecutors play this audio? The defense played it, but the feds, they knew about this. They decided not to play it because they don't want to put this out there because it it changed the narrative of little old poor Miss Cassie. Cassie Week Ventura. Revelations. Revelations. Ooh. Hit the like button, guys. John Smith says, like the video. Yes. Shout out to you, John Smith. Let me see. Cassie is a manipulator. Did Cassie manipulate Diddy, guys? You know, females can manipulate men too, guys. They're saying Diddy was a master manipulator, which I agree. Diddy was a manipulator. Diddy got what he wanted as far as getting girls into the bed. He convinced them to sleep with him. I mean, that's what guys do. They that coercion. Guys convince females to sleep with them every day, and vice versa. Females convince guys to sleep with them. You know, sometimes you're not in the mood and they convince you. I mean, it is what it is. Keep the damn federal government out of our damn bedrooms. That's what Lionel Legal was saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If Tory Lanez is found guilty with that poor evidence, Diddy is cooked. Nope, because we have a rogue juror, Zeb. You know, it doesn't. Those other cases don't mean nothing now, Zeb. It's only wishful thinking. But we have a rogue juror inside the courthouse right now, you know, causing chaos and havoc. You know what I'm saying? Pissing off the jury foreman or foreperson. Sorry, this is a black female. that's the head foreperson right now. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, listen, I'm just giving y'all what I'm seeing right now. Gangsta Cassie, that recording doesn't sound good to the jury. And like I said, and that's why the federal prosecutors hit it. You know, why they don't want to show all the evidence. They ain't want to show that evidence. They bringing out all this other stuff. You see stuff that is not circumstantial, that's physical evidence, right? The defense played. That's physical evidence right there. That's not hearsay. That's not Cassie saying, oh, he threatened to release my sex tapes. That's just not her voice. That's just not her saying it. And y'all got to take her word that Diddy actually said that he was going to release her sex tapes. No, we have her actual voice on recording. Where's Diddy's voice on recording threatening to release her sex tapes? Where is Diddy's voice on any recording threatening to unalive somebody? Where is the evidence? Right there, that audio recording is evidence that Cassie is a goon herself. Why isn't she charged? Why isn't she in handcuffs? Why isn't she a lead conspirator as a underboss to Diddy? If they claiming that this is a criminal racketeering enterprise and Diddy is John Gotti, why isn't Cassie listed as Sammy the Bull Gravano with that audio? If we go in there, oh no, but Raze, she's a victim, right? No, sound like she's a goon to me. Planning her pregnancy around this trial. Cassie on a mission, says one. Jack Black is in the building. Salute to you, Jack Black. Jack Black says, lock her up. Sharice says, wow. Same Diddy. Shot caller. Hit the like button. Cassie, a manipulator. Let's go into some of your chat. The Punisher is the most innocent victim in this case. Poor Punisher. Poor Punisher. He was trafficked. He was sex trafficked. Poor Punisher. You took that literally, but Diddy, you don't. Well, where's the audio of Diddy? Where's the proof? Where is the audio of Diddy threatening to kill somebody? That's what I'm saying. You got to come to court with evidence. We have evidence, Eureka, of Cassie saying, "I'm going to kill you" on audio. Where's the audio? I'll take it literal. All right. Where's the audio of Diddy saying the same thing? Hell, where's the audio of Diddy saying, "I'm going to release your freak off tapes if you don't pay me $20,000? Oh, revelation. Because Diddy never told that girl's mother that. Cassie told her mother that in a note to her. Diddy told Cassie that he wants his money back because you are messing around with Kid Cudi and I want my money back, $20,000 for studio time. You messing around. I want my money recouped. Now, he maybe added on the thing about Cassie and her freak off tapes being released because he's mad. But there's no evidence of that, Eureka. He never told Cassie mom that. Cassie told her mother that. So she can get the $20,000. Yeah, maybe he told her that. We don't know. But we have evidence and audio of Cassie saying she's gonna unalive. I didn't hear Diddy saying any of that. Hardcore evidence by audio. Why Cassie not charged for threatening to unalive? Not sure of these laws. Hey, your guess is as good as mine. No, because the feds, they need Cassie. They need to keep her as a innocent, helpless victim. Guys, hit the like button. Wasn't Cassie married to another person while she was dealing with Diddy too? Wasn't she married to another person in the industry? Or she was in a relationship? She was cheating on somebody else when Diddy took her. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, 0 years, Charles Webb. Cassie is an example that sometimes women are worse than the guys. She literally threatened the life of a person right on camera. Wow. Yeah. And I'm like, mum's the word from the people that want Diddy to go down 15 years of life. If that was Diddy on that audio that I just played, I don't even know if Mark and Niflio could defend that, would be able to defend that one. Because that would be evidence of Diddy saying, I'm going to have you killed and unalive, cut into pieces. And you know what I'm saying? That you got more evidence of Cassie running a criminal organization than, on audio, technically. I'm just, technically, than Diddy. How things turn. Let's see. To be real, she could have been introduced into a environment and got caught up. Then she started to act and speak like that environment. Hey. But the key word is could have got caught up. Where's your evidence? You got to come to court like Judge Judy. You come to court with evidence. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she influenced Diddy to act that way. Like I said, I don't see any audios of Diddy doing that. Now, y'all know I'm just messing with you guys. But listen, there is reasonable doubt inside that courtroom right now. And as they deliberate, we have a rogue juror. You know what I'm saying? She probably got the courage from Diddy. Probably, but the key word is probably. We outside. You know what I'm saying? So why didn't the prosecution frame it that way? Why didn't the prosecutors, play the audio? Play the audio and say that we outside. Obviously, the prosecutors, they knew they had that audio. Diddy's defense team released it. They wasn't afraid to release it. Why didn't the prosecution frame it that way? KL Facts. What up, Raze? Just got back from Cabo, and there was a shooting in the village. Oh, wow. What the heck? Wow. You got to be real, though. Diddy, the wallet in that relationship, and likely boss, she obviously got dependent on some BS. Yeah, and they were free to leave. She could have left. Jane could have left. Cassie could have left. Cassie did leave and went back. You know what I'm saying? Jane left and went back. What are we doing here? You would have had more of a case if in the beginning, let's say the first month, this abuse and stuff happened and they were involved and they left over after like a few months of being with him. And then all of this stuff came out. You would have a better argument of them being victims. But when you keep returning over and over, it seems to go with those witnesses, Brianna, Mia, and all those other people. You kept going back to that company. You kept working for that company. You said you missed the company. If you get fired, you still went back asking for your job back. There's no RICO record. There's no crime. It's over. You had your opportunity to file a police report and nail him with state charges. You didn't do it. You opted not to do it, and you missed your opportunity to nail him. So try again another time. Quite sure Diddy would probably break the law. He'll probably jaywalk. You could get him like that guy Tupac at one point. You know what I'm saying? With jaywalking, he'll jaywalk and follow Diddy. Wait for him to jaywalk and arrest him for jaywalking. It is what it is, man. You know, it seems like to me people are trying to make up for the missed opportunity to convict Diddy for the beating Cassie because of the statute of limitations ran out. This is like some makeup type stuff. You're trying to make it. You're trying to make up for the missed opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. People did not like that video. Nobody liked that video of him beating her up, and people want to do makeup charges. So they're like, well, we'll rock with the feds bringing up these crazy RICO racketeering charges just to nail Diddy because we don't like the fact that he beat her up. That's what's going on. Bruce Taylor's in the building. A conviction will not end the culture around the music industry, but it's a start. They will believe anything but the truth. How did he get in Kid's house? I don't know. Was he ever in Kid's house? You got to have evidence. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, I mean, she was a sex addict. Words out of her own mouth. Well, Cassie was a sex addict. You know, listen, I don't know what y'all want me to say. I don't know who is more toxic, Cassie or Houston Rockets player Dylan Brooks. Baby mama, says Audiwell. Shout out to you, Audiwell, for pulling up. Why was he called Punisher like the rapper? Because he punished people inside the bedroom. Cassie the mastermind, says Jack Black. Virgo Rising. I bet you is that older woman who seems to despise non-black women. It is said that she hates Cassie and Jane Doe and does not view them as victims by the same. She turned her nose. So the head foreman of the jury, well, head foreperson of the jury is a black woman, guys. They are in deliberations right now. As we speak, I heard people were saying Tisha Tells was having a breakdown with this news. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you're cooking. Yes. Mark Nash TV. Shout out to you, Mark Nash TV. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Yes, I am cooking. I'm cooking. Yes. We have a rogue juror, Mark Nash. A rogue juror is in the midst. And Tisha Tells was having a breakdown, they said. God know how I move, says Jammin. Shout out to you, Jammin. Anybody new to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And then historic day. Diddy on trial of this century right now. And there's already some drama inside the court. You know? So an escort is a prostitute because we all know what they do. I can't believe the prosecutor could say that stuff. Man. Like I'm saying, guys, I don't believe Diddy is going to be found not guilty or guilty because you need 12 people to say not guilty and you need 12 people to say guilty. I don't think they're going to agree. I think we're going to have a hung jury on most of these charges, guys. Let's say you. This is the day. Better put him in prison, says Janet Johnson. He broke into Kid Cudi's house. It was in the trial. It was in the testimony from Capricorn Clark, but they have no real evidence that he did. And he went over there. Well, I mean, he went around the house to fight. You know what I mean? He went around the house to fight. Yeah. I mean, there's no, it wasn't on camera. But if you want to believe that, I can believe he did. But he went there to fight. You know, it is what I mean. Kid Cudi didn't met him over there to fight. You know, I mean, it was a lover's quarrel. We outside. It is what it is. They were supposed to bring that case at the moment it happened. We outside. It was a lover's quarrel. It's not RICO racketeering. It wasn't a hit job by the mafia. That's my biggest issue. Yeah, it was a crime, technically. But the time to handle that was out there in LA when it went down. And like I said, since then, Kid Cudi and Diddy has met. Diddy has apologized. It was a lover's quarrel. They were jealous. Cassie was playing them both. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's my only point. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to retroactively go back to these incidents that have already been settled. The statute of limitation passed as far as the abuse of Cassie. So And she was paid $20 million for her troubles. Really 30 million if you add the 10 million from the thing. So what, like, I don't understand. Like, listen, if you miss the statute of limitations, if it's over, it's over. It is what it is. I mean, they trying to do catch up and make up with charges and let me see. CC says Diddy was involved in organized crime, which included extortion, brutalization, terroristic threats, coercion, illegal weapons, drugs, and human trafficking. Prove it. Prove it. They did not prove it. And the thing is, and you would have to, for RICO racketeering, see where the feds made their biggest mistake, bringing federal RICO racketeering charges. It should have been kept state charges, charged them with drug possession. Do it, don't try to go for this big thing. Like I said, it's the same as you charging somebody that probably killed somebody in self-defense on first-degree murder. You might not get a conviction on first-degree murder. So you would have to charge him to really get a conviction on manslaughter or something like that. A drunk driver that runs into somebody and kills a family of four or whatever, or kills somebody. Trying to get him on first-degree murder. You might get him, but you might be better to get him on involuntary manslaughter. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't want to overcharge, because if you overcharge, you might not get a guilty verdict on the biggest charge. So you want to probably, have some lower charges. That's all I'm saying. That's all Lionel Legal was saying. We're not saying he's a good guy at all. We're saying, look, charge him properly, and maybe you might get a charge that you want. Shout out to my guy Backpack Val. Ninjas charged one man on a RICO. They really swore he was John Gotti. I hate Diddy. I truly do, but I hope the feds lose. Yes, because it sets a horrible precedent, Backpack Val. And shout out to my guy Backpack Val. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Backpack Val. This judge is a rookie. He shouldn't even be on the case. Yeah, well, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I'm not here to, I'm not even saying Diddy is a good guy. I never did. He's not my type of guy. You know what I'm saying? But Backpack Val just nailed it right there. Backpack Val, my guy Backpack Val nailed it right there. And Backpack Val he's taking the Ray J he's taking the Ray J opinion.
I feel like it's becoming a circus act for stuff that doesn't make any sense for what Diddy's being charged for. I mean, there's a lot of bad things happening, and we all agree with that. But a RICO, racketeering, sex trafficking, like, I've been with Diddy a long time. And if I haven't seen any of these kind of heinous acts happening, then where was I when it was happening? If you told me that the Kardashians was being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. But Diddy, sex trafficking, and all these other extra things, like, it's, to me, knowing him, knowing the situation, being around with most of the people that's testifying, I just feel like there's somebody at the top who's making a statement, who's making a point. I'm sure Diddy got the point. Free Diddy, he got the point. He's chilling now.
That's not how it works.
I mean, man, I know, I get it, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, it's not okay to throw something extra on a man when the charges could have been something totally different.
The charges could have been something totally different, and I agree. You could have got him on something different. And you heard that lady saying, "Oh, that's not how it works, though. That's not how it works, though." You could tell she's rooting for Diddy to be found guilty. 15 years to life in prison. That's not how it works, though. Oh, man. Hit the like button, guys. Everybody new to the channel. Will there be a not guilty, guys? Who knows? Who knows, guys? They are deliberating. We have a rogue juror, guys. We have a rogue juror. Taxpayer dollars being wasted on this BSS Tracy King. Globe is in the building. The charge is RICO. The evidence is domestic violence and a man who was very aggressive sexual desires. Shout out to my guy Globe in his channel. He is in the building. We're gonna be live. We're gonna be at that courthouse in like an hour, guys. They are deliberating. We have a rogue juror, Globe. We have a rogue juror said he does not want to follow the instructions. He will not be a part of this farce. So we're gonna see. We might have a hung jury on these charges, Globe. We don't know.
I recognize the fact that what I'm saying is incredibly redundant, and I know you've heard me for the millionth time, and I'm going to say it for the millionth time because I think it's important and critical that everybody understands what this is. There is no way that if there exists any kind of a law, any kind of criminal justice system, that Diddy should be found guilty of anything. And this may confound you, it may bother you, great, because he's not guilty of what they charged him with in federal court. You don't throw these terms around. You don't say things like trafficking and racketeering in violation of the Mann Act and the white slavery statute because a couple of people were involved in what appeared to be basically a big house party and orgy run amok. If you go through this, if you go through the facts of this, that's what's important. And that's what I've been talking and saying. The idea of a racketeering conspiracy is ridiculous. This was no enterprise. This was not the mafia. This was not the Colombos or the Lucchese's. This was a celebrity entourage, a group, a posse. Notice I spelled it P-O-S-S-E. There is no relatedness. There was no enterprise. There is the relatedness component of this, where you can say that the alleged acts and the drugs and the sex and the money and all of that stuff were isolated incidents, not a part of a coordinated plan. And second of all, there's no continuity. No relatedness, no continuity. The incidents were episodic, chaotic, abusive to be sure, but not organized. Chaotic, abusive to be sure, but not organized, not systemic. No one was employed in a criminal network. Friends and girlfriends and staff all voluntarily were present in the orbit, the gravitational pull of fame and excess. And that's the way that is. Simple. Simple. A house party, an orgy, isn't a racketeering enterprise. And to suggest that this was sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion is an abomination to the people who have been, in fact, actually involved in that. I would be furious if I was a practitioner. I would be furious. Consent, intent, whatever you want to call it, these were adult relationships at best. Messy, toxic, even manipulative, but they were not, were not trafficking. Agency and participation is another one. Agency as in being an agent. The victims, the putative victims, remained in relationships. They took money and accepted gifts and traveled by choice. No commercial sex arrangement, forced or brokered, was there. It was intimate. It wasn't transactional. It was in the legal sense. Force, fraud, coercion. This is the thing. Did they ever call the police? Were there threats or just power imbalances? Intimidation versus a threat. Did people feel like they couldn't say no based upon the power differential? Threat. Did people feel like they couldn't say no based upon the power differential? Did the prosecution prove intent to exploit? There was seduction, to be sure, but not sex trafficking. This is what is critical. And as far as transportation for prostitution, the white slavery statute, the Mann Act violation. Again, act or definition. No one was trafficked across state lines for prostitution. There was a private relationship, not a pimping. This wasn't assignation and all these other great common law crimes. You have to look at the definition of prostitution. Was sex offered for money, or was it part of a consensual, romantic, celebrity lifestyle? No. This is the most important thing. Did the alleged victims, did they choose to travel for parties and events and relationships? Were they told to perform for pay? The prosecution has got to prove that Diddy intended to have someone cross state lines for illegal sex work. Period. End of discussion. And proving that beyond a reasonable doubt and beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt within a degree of moral certainty is very tough, to say the least. They travel for this is a defense spectacle. I have no earthly idea what motivated the Biden administration to involve themselves in this. I have no earthly idea whatever motivated them in the least to even pursue this. What were they thinking? What was the purpose of this? What? No one knows. No one can figure this thing out. Nobody can. I can't. I'm wondering why. What was the purpose of this? Why did you do this? What were you trying to accomplish? Why? Why? What was the purpose of this? Why did you do this? What were you trying to accomplish? Why? What was the point? We don't know. This happens all the time. This was Hugh Hefner, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. This has been going on. They do football games, and you know, I've asked this question. There's about like 2,000 to 3,000 maybe total professional athletes in baseball, football, basketball in the United States, and of that group, of those folks, of that team, of that group, there are probably more independent groups negotiating parties and passels and hordes and orgies of women that you can imagine all the time. It's been going on since day one, and that's not right. It's immoral, fine, but it's not federal, and it's not. And if there is a God, he must be acquitted, because we cannot live in a system that would allow somebody to be, in essence, violated, to be, what am I trying to say, to be charged with this, to be prosecuted, merely because we don't like his sexual activities. Federal trafficking, think children, think people padlocked in trailers and tractor trailers and brought to transported and flown, and oh my God. He must be acquitted. If that jury is even 10% efficient, they've got to throw this out. And if by some stretch of the imagination he's found guilty of this, then they'll get him on appeal. They'll reverse it on appeal. This is horrible.
Shout out to my guy Future World Films, also in the building. Kaboom! Guess who stepped in the room? That was Lionel Legal. Subscribe to his channel. Drop the heat on his according to his legal expertise, guy. Yeah. Eureka's still trying to find a way. You're trying to find a way. Give him 15 years, Eureka. Let's see what Eureka says. If he crossed the line, which he actually did along with the coke, is federal crime. Eureka. He just wanted to get high a little bit. Eureka. Shouldn't Combs get a chance to go into drug rehab? Eureka. Hey, Eureka, I thought the drug dealers get more time than the drug users. Diddy has a drug addiction, Eureka. Shouldn't he just get probation and get time in drug rehab? Now, if he violated, then he go to jail. You know what I'm saying, Eureka? I thought that's what we do here in America these days. I didn't know they sentenced the drug user to 15 years to life. Just because he went on the PATH train and took some drugs out of New York City, Manhattan, crossing the PATH train to New Jersey, to get high at a party for personal use, not to sell, for personal use. I thought those type of people could go into drug rehab, get forced to go into drug rehab. They give them a chance. And shout out to Future World Films. Who doesn't want to go to a party that has all that you want? As a hey, and you know, and you listen, and you got free will. You got free will to go do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not a young person. You know what I'm saying? Look at that look at Eureka. You're still clinging on hope. Eureka, 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 Eureka. Eureka, Eureka, Eureka. The gun crime. Eureka is trying hard. She is trying hard while we have this rogue juror inside that courthouse. Gun crimes. No, well, he had the guns locked up inside of his house, inside of a security room. He has hired paid security guards that be armed at times. One of the guns had a serial number scratched off, but the rest didn't. And those were legal guns. Eureka, Eureka, Eureka. Did he fire off the guns, Eureka? Did he kill somebody with the guns? Eureka, Eureka. He had the guns in Florida. Everybody got guns in Florida. Eureka, Eureka, Eureka. Mistrial says Scribble Bites. Shout out to you, Scribble Bites. Edward Bind, Eureka, Eureka is about to put the whole USA in prison with that mindset. Yes. and I made the point. Basically, there's so many crimes in on the books that we all commit. Like I said, we all commit jaywalking. So we also go turn ourselves in because we did the crime. We gotta admit we did the crime. It's against the law. It's the law. You must follow the letter of the law. So let's all go march down to our nearest precinct and turn ourselves in. Throw ourselves to the mercy of the courts because we are all guilty criminals for jaywalking, guys. But let's all do it. Let's all do it, guys. Eureka, Eureka, Eureka. Time to serve the time. Yeah, let's go serve our time, guys. Let's all go serve our time. We've been jaywalking for years. You know, let's stop being on the run from the law. Let's stop being on the run from the law, guys. We are all guilty. According to the law, the letter of the law, we are all jaywalkers. Hang 'em high. Hang 'em high. Yeah. You serving hard time because the big boss man. Let's see what Eureka she got to say. Eureka, she's trying hard. I give you credit, Eureka. You're trying hard. You're trying your best. We gotta see the 12 jurors. Well, you got to deal with that rogue juror though, Eureka. That rogue juror in that courtroom right now. Not hard. You just want a Diddy to go free. But he removed serial numbers. That's federal 10 years. We don't all do that, do we? Well, they should have charged him with that, Eureka. Listen, if there was a crime committed with those guns, they should have went in there, charged them for state or federal, wherever way you would do it. Say, we are charging him for federal gun crimes, whatever the crime is. For removing a serial number, that's the charge. Charge him appropriately, and we move on from there. Because these predicates and stuff, it's so convoluted. These charges, it's convoluted. People don't really understand it. It's all right. So removing a serial numbers, does that fall underneath the RICO? I guess maybe. It's so convoluted, and as an American citizen, I don't want to be a part of this. So I'm finding him not guilty. Come back to me with simpler charges, and let's not play this game in the future. And thus, this is why we have a rogue juror sitting in here right now, guys. I mean, it's a rogue juror. You know what I mean? It's you know, guys, I don't know. Heathen Queen reacts. HQ reacts with the $5 donation. Shout out to you with the $5 donation. I'm quite sure you might be doing a reaction to this case. HQ reacts. Thank you for that $5. Going to be found guilty. They drop all state charges. Now Trump can pardon. Now, they didn't drop all state charges. What they did was they dropped the predicates to the arguments of attempted arson and attempted kidnapping. The attempted parts. They didn't drop the actual kidnapping, and they didn't drop their actual arguments for arson. They just simplified it for the jury. They said, because they're like, well, why are these jurors looking at attempted kidnapping when we saying he did the kidnapping and he did the arson? So why would we have the language of attempted? So they didn't actually drop it. I mean, it was a lot of confusion during that time, the TMZ and stuff, the TMZ article. So it didn't actually go down that way. They still argued about actual kidnapping and actual arson. But thank you for that $5 donation, HQ reactions, and hey, shout out to her, and check out her channel. She does a great job with these type of things. She does these things. She covers these things in a hilarious manner, guys. So you'll be good to follow HQ reacts, and I thank her for that donation. And like I said, I think Diddy's team did the right thing. They admitted to the domestic violence. They said we own this. They said he would have pled guilty to it if he was charged properly and charged with it. He would have pled guilty. That was the opening statements of Diddy's closing statement, actually, and from his lawyer Mark Agnifilio brilliantly did admit to the crime. Admit to the crime that you are not charged with, which that's the one everybody's seen, and win some credibility and deny the crimes that you are actually charged with. And this guy, a lot of you people will know, Dr. Phil said it properly.
Yeah, they're going to argue negligence. They're going to argue some negligence, not necessarily legally, but they're going to say, hey, these women knew what they were signing up for, and there were good things and bad things that could come out of that. They knew that, and they took the risk knowingly. I think this is going to be an interesting case, and I think the defense has to be very careful to not push too hard on excusing behavior. Sometimes a modified mea culpa can go a long way towards buying credibility on some of the actionable charges. And by modified mea culpa, I mean saying, look, that wasn't his finest hour. He didn't behave well here. But how does that go to what he's charged with? Because there are RICO charges here, but yet he's the only one charged. So where are the other parties?
Where's the enterprise?
Yeah, who is he enterprising with if he's the only one charged?
Yeah.
It just seems this is going to be very interesting to see how this is proved up. And what are the instructions going to be from the judge, and what are the definitions going to be on the charges? People sometimes forget they don't go back and say guilty or innocent. As you know, they go back there and there are a lot of definitions they have to go through. Did they prove this element, this element, this element? If yes, then go here. If no, go to page 14. I mean, it's a very complex situation, as you know.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard one for the jury, and I agree with you. Trying to do that sort of modified mea culpa, which is what the defense is trying to do. They're literally trying to walk that fine line, saying, "Oh, yes, he did domestic violence, but he didn't do these charges." That's a hard one with the jury. You have to be very careful with that.
It is, but if he can admit to things that he's not charged with, he can buy credibility when he denies things he is charged with. And that's a subtlety sometimes the jury doesn't pick up on.
That was a great observation by no other than Dr. Phil. He said, look, admit the things that you are not charged with, which is domestic violence, which everybody's seen on camera. He's not charged with that, maybe because of the statute of limitations ran out, whatever. So he admitted to that. He said, I would have pled guilty to that. Yeah, but I'm not guilty of all this other stuff that I am charged with, which is federal RICO racketeering, sex trafficking. It's a far outreach. I mean, it's a far reach by the federal government. And Maria with the $10, well, 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate your open-mindedness. Yes, I'm very open-minded over here, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for that 10 bucks. I'm going to use that for some roast duck because I'm about to head out there to Chinatown, Lower Manhattan for the verdict. If there is a verdict reached, that's in Lower Manhattan. I'm gonna get me some roast duck from the Chinese restaurant across from the courthouses. So I'm about to be out there, and I'm gonna come back live if there is a verdict, guilty or not guilty, or hung jury, mistrial, whatever they do. I will be back live, and I'm going to use this $10 for some roast duck from the Chinaman. You know what I'm saying? From the Chinaman. The domestic charge is only valid as a civil suit at this time. Well, she got paid for that, 20 million from him, 10 million from the hotel. You know, his words is ambiguous in its own way, says Jamil. Dr. Phil been honest from the start. Love him, says Maria. People guilty on filing taxes, says Troy. Most people guilty on filing taxes. Troy, what up, Troy? You still here? You back around, Troy? Shout out to you, Troy. Okay, Troy. Y'all like those type of parties too, I see. You see, and the thing is, you know, Rosebud, you're not being fair, Rosebud. Yeah, you know, you're not being fair with this type of comment, Rosebud. You know, just because we are looking at the letter of the law and we're analyzing it, and we are not legal experts, we are trying to see, did the feds overreach? Did they overstep their bounds? Or they're setting a bad precedent? You go and say that we like those Diddy parties too. Man, I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say, guys. But yet, there's a rogue juror, Rose. You better watch out for that rogue juror in there. He's a rogue juror, causing chaos in that courthouse. Yeah. It's a terrible overreach and overcharge, says Maria. Eureka is back. Simply Me says hi. Hello. Subscribe to the channel. Everybody subscribe. This is a historic day in the making coming. All those stars that went to the parties, yet none want to be associated with Diddy now. That should be your tip off. The dude ain't what you're trying to make excuses for him. Man, it doesn't matter. You got to come to court with evidence, Eureka. I mean, you can say all that, but the thing is, when you got the feds dropping RICO racketeering charges on people, on celebrities now, it's like the hip hop police is out there. Why would they go to that courtroom and testify? Because if they say something, because they don't get immunity. They don't get immunity, unlike the witnesses for the prosecution. You got to remember that. So if a hip hop artist or celebrity was to go testify on Diddy's behalf, and they were and if they pissed off the government, what's to stop the government from finding charges on them? You know what I'm saying? And prosecuting them and hitting them with the RICO racketeering. Hell, the person that they wanted to put on the stand, because they had a witness they was going to put on the stand that worked for Diddy's company, that was going to testify on Diddy's behalf, but they decided not to. But the thing is, that person went and had immunity because he would have been testifying on the defense behalf. That's not fair. So that means if the feds would have got mad at that person's testimony, they could have hit him with some charges. You see, the people that testified on the prosecution's behalf, they were able to get immunity, but they were threatened to get charged. That's why they said, look, I'm pleading the fifth, and then they offered them the immunity. The defense people, witnesses, wouldn't have had that right, and they would have opened themselves up to get charged. So, nope. Try again, Eureka. But I do appreciate you, Eureka. You're trying. You're trying, Eureka. You're trying, and I give you a lot of credit. I give you a lot of credit. Like I said, this was a copy and paste type case, and I give the feds credit because they copy and pasted it. They made it seem like Bad Boy Records can be looked at as kind of like a criminal organization. If you really want to stretch it, if you want to say his employees was his enterprise, was the criminal enterprise. I mean, so they stretched it. It's like it's how can I say it's over exaggerated, and I fall on the side of Bad Boy not being a criminal enterprise. That's why I would say not guilty, because the RICO racketeering is null and void in this case. It's overcharged. Shout out to all the will with the $1.99 donation to Raze Surveys of Fun. And like I said, I'm getting some roast duck tonight because of that. We're gonna be down at the courthouse in Chinatown. $1.99. Don't forget the plum sauce for your roasted duck. Oh yes, so this is the sauce. So the $1.99, this is for the sauce. Thank you for that, Auto Will. So shout out to you for that $1.99 for the sauce. The sauce. RICO won't stick. The RICO won't stick, John Smith says. If the condom don't fit, you must have quit. Oh, man, this case is wild, man. This is one wild case, I tell you. If the condom don't fit, you must have quit. Can you imagine if Mark would have made that joke out in the courtroom that day? Oh man. You I laugh to prevent myself from crying, guys. That's all. Oh my God. What else? What are you gonna do? It's the weirdest case ever, man. Duck sauce. You're funny. I'm going down to Chinatown. That's where the trial is at, down in Chinatown. Some duck sauce, soy sauce. They say 75 cents extra, ninja. You pay extra. Duck sauce extra. You pay extra. Extra sauce. But I'm going to be down there, guys. We'll see if there's a verdict, guys. Now, the judge said he's going to allow for the jury to stay past 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And we going to be down there as I'm eating my roast duck. You know what I'm saying? And we going to be down and see if they come with a verdict, guys. High drama down. That's why you got to subscribe to Raze channel, because we going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's a lot of crazy people out there. There's some random crazy people walking around that be getting on Raze nerves. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? And hit that like button, though, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Anybody new to the channel. No, I do not love me. No, Diddy, Eureka. I'm in love with justice. I'm in love with not setting the bad and wrong precedents in America. I'm in love with Cassie, though, maybe. All the criminal stuff Cassie did, like threatening to unalive somebody, Eureka. I'm in love with Cassie because Cassie looks so good. And now I'm like, you know what? I know, but Cassie looked good. I'll give Cassie another chance. She got 20 million, 30 million in the bank. Yeah, she might be a person, a goon, a gangster, but I'll give Cassie a chance.
So you're telling me that he showed you a video of who kidnapped Cassie? Then that's not a real video because he's never
in that position. You would have been naked. I'm just saying, if you were.
So he's in the video.
I'm saying, if I had a picture.
Is he in the video?
Yeah, but I'm saying, if I had a picture.
Then that's not me.
But I'm just saying, look, hold on. You have to understand, if I had a picture of you naked.
If there's a picture of me naked, that's completely different than a video of me.
So
the video that he showed you, he's in it.
Yeah, we can try to pull it.
How are you gonna? Oh no, your phones are right here.
Try to pull it. You can try to pull it. You can try to pull it.
On the internet?
Yeah, you can try to pull it.
Where?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, which phone?
You can bring
the Samsung?
Yeah, you can bring it.
So you have it or you don't have it? Can you just be clear with me? Do you have it?
I saw it and I don't want to ever see it again.
I know you don't, but I want to see it.
Yeah, but I don't want to see it, bro.
Yeah, you don't have to see it, but it's my life and I'll kill you.
Yeah, but
No, I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you and I will hide you and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now. Pull it up. If you have it, pull that up. Because if not, I'm going to kill you and then he's going to kill you again. So just do it. Pull that up right now.
Ooh, y'all just heard Cassie. But she still sounds sexy. She's threatening to kill that man, but she still sounds so sexy, guys. Hit the like button, guys. I might I still love me some Cassie. Not Diddy. Cassie. And Raze love Cassie. That's and guys, this is what gets men in trouble. Because we continue to fall for females like Cassie. You know? We just because she looks good, we continue to fall for goons and gangsters like Cassie. Just because she looks good and we all get maybe Diddy fell for her. Maybe Diddy the victim. Hit the like button, guys. Oh man, I'm having some fun with you guys. You guys been great, man. You guys have been great. Let's see what happened. I'm going to be down at that courthouse in like an hour and see what goes down. Subscribe to the channel. You know, yeah. Shout out to Auto Wills. He's talking to the guy that he claimed he seen her with DJ Wu Kid on a sex freak off tape. So she was threatening to unalive him ever buying. It is what it is. You know. Oh man. You know. Eureka, you might get your chance. He might be found guilty on all charges, all 12 jurors. And Eureka, I'm gonna be live, and you could come inside my live stream. It says Eureka, he is found guilty. So shout out to you guys. Send a notification about I'm gonna send a notification out when I come back live later on from Lower Manhattan from the court. And we are on Verdict Watch. You guys have been great. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and I will be back live. Okay. Hey, Eureka, you know, Eureka. That was Diddy saying that. You won't be saying he didn't sound serious. You know what I'm saying? You know, she sounds just so sexy. She's just got a sexy voice. That's the thing, Eureka. You know what I'm saying? So even when she's threatening to unalive somebody, she still sounds so innocent and Cassie. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. Yes, I tried to get an interview with somebody. I had an interview with somebody that had a free puff shirt on. It's on the channel the other day on Friday. And in the members only, I had an interview with somebody from Hot 97. I think I'll take that out of the members only and put that on the main thing. From Hot 97 reporter was saying no way Diddy is gonna be convicted. So I got a couple of interviews over the past couple of days on the channel for people out there. I get somebody up there. We didn't hear Diddy. I didn't hear Diddy threatening to kill nobody. You know what I'm saying? The best evidence we have of a criminal mastermind threatening to do harm to somebody is Cassie. As far as Rico, if you want to do Rico racketeering, Cassie threatening some guy. She's real gangster. Yeah, you know how we do, keeping it gangsta. Man, to be honest, even if it makes sense to find him not guilty, it's the USA. We talking about a lot of things doesn't make sense, like Tory Lane's case. And there you have it. With that, I'm about to break out of here. Let me get down there, guys. Let me get down there to that court. Let me get me some of that roast duck, and I'll be back live later on. Thank you. Great job, everybody. We will be back. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And also subscribe to Lionel Legal channel also. He did a great job. Salute.